I value love as currency so much greater than any coin or NFT. I value human eyes, touch, heartbeat, helping hands, affection. The oppressive system always exposes the cracks in our collective humanity, and our complicit role we play as empaths is amplified as we try to feel through and also counterintuitively heal those breaks. Narcissists do not get enough credit for their role in destroying the commons, a system built on human error. An error in the predictive formula for optimism, and most precisely how the value of reciprocity is created and propagated to only serve the narcissist in all of us in the end. Duality in people's character is overrated. Always the demon and the angel. Always the empath and the narcissist. Always the same. Are we not more nuanced than that? Alas, we art workers all know about the transgressions of the unregulated art market. Yet despite this knowledge, we try to save it from certain death, ignoring our collective debt. Why do we keep trying? Why do we follow false prophets till the end? Are we afraid to look straight into the sun? Are we more comfortable releasing our gaze only when the moon descends? They say if you look too long into the sun, you'll go blind. They're correct. I looked straight into the sun. I fully lost my sight. They're correct. I truly cannot see beyond myself these days. I am too radical. Am I too correct all the time? I say I am. Do I shove my politics down others' throats? Do we give each other enough time to process pain or love? And are we really capable of rejecting our collective shame? Did I go so blind that I forgot that I'm a new solo, smacked right into the cacophony of the many art prophets not born yet? Think about the immense power of the sun. Think about the immense power of us. Did you know I observed the sunset the other night over the lake, and I swear the sun is most beautiful in its death, in its setting, in its end. It has a blood aura, and it looks mad, and it looks bad and good. Duality is overrated. Keep it for the lunar eclipse clans. We are most beautiful in our shadows, in our transgressions, in our madness. In our chaos, a beauty emerges as our bounds correct. I believe in the messiness of us as we transgress the common's nest. I know what to expect. I'm a mother and a warrior, and warriors, like the sun, must also rest before each new conquest. Just think about the intellectual property we create on a daily basis. Like the sun, every hour, every minute of our being is relied upon by others who pocket the royalties at the end. Comrade, they say, the commons. Has the commons been commodified? Who do we sell our labor to? Follow the supply chain. Pain. Trauma bonding in the commons is common. Trauma bonding is the answer to mutual aid. Because we are good in crisis. We know what to do. We know how to unite, survive, preserve our history of protest, of resistance, and excruciating pain. Pain. How do we get along despite our differences? We don't. They remain. We are considerate to them, always there to remind us to transgress the set boundaries of claim. Transgress the copyright. Fuck the pain away. That's the only way we can work with our differences. That's the only way we can. But what are we? The copyrighted rams of this world, those born between March 21st and April 19th. The self? The drive? I know. Those who always strive for justice, for life, for an ability to pay the rents. We have a drive that is maddening and deep. We don't need validation from the rest, especially the fakes. We know we want no gods. Only baby bosses, art prophets, and endless parades. We need transgressions to deal with our collective pain. We need transgressions to see ourselves in others. We need the triggers and the profits and the looming monthly rent. We need transgressions to erase the doubt that always turns our brains into a negative mess. The narcissist in us is often too strong of a voice. The empaths never win. They can't. We're good in crisis, but after that, disband. And forget that we're here to transgress. We Aries are here to transgress boundaries, to challenge our brain, to be badass, big dicks, big balls. Why do all attributes of power spell men? We channel power through our bodies and our zest, big vaginas and big breasts. The only word, an ass, describes someone who is female or male or both just the same. And who do we challenge? The ones who cannot transgress. It is difficult to transgress. No gods, no masters, only baby bosses. It is difficult to say I did my best but failed. And when we fail, who is there to heal the collective pain? A lot of the ideas of the commons fail. And living with failure is most likely a source of our strength today. Failure is much more likely driving us ahead than proverbial stories of success. But I transgress. What is love? What is to love someone unconditionally, yet x-ray their soul and know its darkness and betrayal? How does it feel to love a monster? Do you know how to open your heart and receive love? Do you know how? Do you know how to use magic? Do you know how to give magic to others and still fail? They say people have a certain light. They say that each one of us has something no one else has. Someone cursed me. Someone I had helped. I didn't curse them back. I didn't have to, because the power is in my light, and that is a fact. They call me baby boss because it sounds cute, but they don't know. They always overestimate the power of the light, because light turns into fire, and fire burns bad. I had to make everything complex for myself instead of tuning to the sound of the lake. The sound of the lake, the sound of life after death, the beautiful chaos, the collusion, the pain, the jazz, the drums, the loud disco, the church choir, the Bulgarian band, the neighbors and the people and the life ahead. We are alive. It is difficult to say what you feel when you say that, because the words are divorced from the brain. The only way out from trauma bonding is to spell it out. We need help. And the PTSD, the remorse, the pain of letting go of control and going with the flow. Who is after whom? Who is next? There are no organizers. There are no hustlers, but we are that. There are no gods, only baby bosses and a mess. Are we constantly self-sabotaging? There's dedication to love in the commons. Then there's the rest. The microcircuits are already established. The ones that don't fit, the ones that do, the ones that don't care, and the ones that do. Who else is there? The typical, the known, the alternative at best, the avant-garde. My mother told me that I'm not successful in running card businesses because I'm too avant-garde. And people don't like the avant-garde. She's correct. There is, however, hope. What if we show the avant-garde down their necks? Or better yet, don't commodify it, comrades. Don't. I like the beautiful sound of life or life after death. The sound of the lake on the weekends. Without police, we took the lake back. And now we have life on the lake. On Sundays, when the sun rays are really strong, around 5:54 p.m., I lay down and stare straight into the sun. I know that people say that the sun makes you go blind, but I don't care. I challenge the sun and call my powers to my defense. At 7:30 p.m., the light is different. And the perspective is one, again, fresh. And then at 8:30 p.m., the sun is slowly, really wanting rest. And I keep staring until it's time for me to rest. All warriors rest. It's okay not to be okay, they say. I often think that it's impossible for me to ever be happy. Once, when I moved here from Bulgaria at age 18, I thought that I would never have friends. I also thought that I would never learn English. People say I'm intense. People think that I'm a baby boss, but then I show them who I am, and yet they're confused. They're looking for someone else. Also once, I thought that I could be someone else, or change, or remain the same. I failed. The point is that we fail to be humans, now and then, and more often than not, we succeed and build the future, but then, whose future? This is a contested ground again. I need to rest. Anger is good. Anger fuels passion, and passion and anger make for an explosive revolutionary mixture and content. And also makes for a great foundation for friends and lovers. I must rest. What is the tangible connection between my ideas and the rest? Between what I want to achieve and what the world craves? I must rest. Are we ready to let go of our egos? I don't think so. Because, and mainly because, I still insist on being called Baby Boss, my IP name. That is right. I occupy IP. I occupy space. I occupy too much of it. And I'm fine with that. My power is my light. And I gladly give it away to those who can handle it and use it for the common great. And those who can't, you ask, they go away, repelled. I badly need to rest. At the end of the day, we are humans, and humans need interactions in order to experience the essence of humanity. And what better vessels for humanity than artists? While artists are the chosen carriers of stories and images, they are also on the forefront of a massive economic machine. And while they may be political, the artist, the machine is certainly not clean of massacres. The supply and chain machine, propped up by the intellectual property and patent law, is dripping with blood and crying for help. And now, we have a different psychological and physical disadvantage because of the pandemic. We used to share residency space, utensils, art, stories, walks, intimacy, love, sex, friendship, and conflict, and anger, and prayer, and all the regular emotions one must feel among other individuals. Now we have become devout that the distance has suddenly illuminated the cracks in the dark matter. We need each other more than ever. We must be kind to each other and love each other better. How do we make a sense that fits all perspectives? How do we achieve consensus or interpersonal consent when one is impossible to reach with our masters, with our lovers, with our friends? Even the once upon a time aggressive Burning Man Fest is today nothing but a playground for the rich to replicate the master and servant play they play anyways each day. But I transgress. Magic, meditation, culture, history objects, all are being preserved today and archived and collected. By whom? For whom? To what ends? The independent art space is gone. It's okay. It will remain in archives and books, but what has taken its place instead? I insist that what comes next is the heterotopic space, the one that both mirrors and counters the current idea of a space. Only then we will acknowledge our emotions to ourselves and maybe then stop playing the art game. Maybe then. And this is why it's sad to see the commons fail. Much like the perfect lover that sometimes leaves when the affair ends. Those eyes are full of tears because we fail to recognize the real value of our transactions, which is the love we give to each other, or the hate perhaps. What do you do with all the emotions you have not felt yet? You transgress. You transgress. You transgress.